Oh, what's going on, guys? It's Shaft and I'm back with another FIFA 17 Ultimate Team video. And in this one I'm going to be talking about the top 5 best and most overpowered formations in FIFA 17 in the entire game so far, barring any patches or any updates to the game. For right now, today, if you want one of the best formations in the game, you gotta watch this video. So at number 5, I've got the 4-3-1-2, okay? And in this formation is very balanced. It gives you a lot of options with 2 strikers, a cam, 3 central midfielders, 2 center backs, a right back, and a goaltender. So for this formation, what you need to do is you need to have a cam that has at least 4-star skill moves, at least 4-star weak foot, and at least 80 pace. And that will help you a lot. And if he has high passing, that's also going to be beneficial for you because he'll feed your strikers more efficiently. So I'm looking at like 75 pace at the very least. Your strikers, you need to have one that has at least 89 to 90 pace and one that has at least 80 physical. So you want to have one pacey striker and one strong striker. So that combo usually works the best. And it's also good to have one that has at least 4-star skill moves. It'll help you out in the long run when you're trying to create space for yourself. So that's what you want to do for that. Your midfielders, you want to have one that's a holding midfielder. So in the center, you want to put a CDM type midfielder. So someone like Marwan Fellaini, for example, he needs to have high physical, decent defending, and decent passing. His pace and shooting and everything doesn't matter. You just need to have those working for you. And you want to make his player instruction to stay back while attacking, this central midfielder. The right and left midfielders, you can keep them, what's recommended is box-to-box midfielders, but you can also put any central midfielders you like of your choice. Just make sure they're balanced, well-rounded, and they have pretty good stats. So that's the 5th formation for me. And number 4, we're going to go to the 4-1-2-1-2. And this formation in this game is pretty OP, and it's very balanced. It's probably one of the most balanced formations, as it is in any FIFA when it's OP. It's pretty balanced, which is what makes it overpowered. So for this formation, it's definitely one of the best ones I've used so far, and it's gotten me the majority of my wins. Except for recently when I've come up against better formations, which I'll explain later on in the video. So for this formation, you're going to need one pacey striker and one strong striker, just like you will need for the 4-3-1-2. But your CDM needs to have high physical, and he needs to be a box-to-box midfielder. Because this formation is so wide, the central part of the midfield is going to be your biggest weakness in this formation. So you want to make sure your cam and CDM are well-rounded players that can defend and attack. So for the CDM, I'd recommend someone like Arturo Vidal, who's probably one of the best midfielders in the game. He's a guy that can defend for you. He'll run up and back and down the field, and he'll score some goals too. And he can do it all, you know. And then for your cam, you want to have someone that can also do it all. A guy that comes to mind is a guy like Kevin De Bruyne. I think he'd be perfect. That would be a perfect combo if you have Vidal and De Bruyne, because the 4-1-2-2 is very, like I said, in the central park and the midfield. And your left mids and right mids need to be pacey, and you need to put them on their weak foot on the right side. So what I mean is, you want to put someone like Robben, who's left-footed, on the right side, and someone like Dries Mertens, who's right-footed, on the left side, so they can finesse it whenever they get into the box. And you want to make their player instructions for the left mid and the right mid to cut inside and get in behind for both of them, okay? And then that'll work well for you. You'll always have a 5-man attack, and you'll have a lot of options for yourself. And then you want to also make sure your center backs are extremely overpowered and very good, and probably your most expensive players, because like I said, in this formation, it's all up to them, you know, because your CDM is probably going to be not able to do a lot as one player, and even if he does, your center backs need to be very reliable. So in this formation, I'd say your center backs have to be probably your highest priced players. Now moving on to numero 3, we got the 4-5-1, and this formation caught me by surprise. I was scouring around Futhead, and I saw some guy say that this is one of the most underused and underappreciated formations. And I was like, man, what is this guy talking about? And then I was like, man, why don't I try it out? He said his record was like 55-2-1 or something. I was like, man, that's gotta be BS. And I used this formation, and I was like, wow, this formation, it worries me because there's only one center mid in the back, and he's not even a central defensive midfielder. But man, this formation is OP as hell. But you have to do certain things to make it work out for you. And I used this for about 20 games, and I kind of figured it out. So obviously you want your goaltender, your center backs, and your right backs to be very well rounded and good. But that's not your main concern. Your center mid needs to be a box-to-box midfielder. Like I said, just like Arturo Vidal in the CDM, you want to put a guy like Vidal as your center mid in this formation, and it has to be a box-to-box midfielder like Renato Sanchez, Arturo Vidal, players like that gotta be your central midfielder here, and you want to make his instruction to stay back while attacking, because if you don't, you're screwed, buddy. You're actually screwed. And your left mids and right mids, they also need to be pacey and have to have strong finishing and decent physical. And you're looking at guys like Coman in here, guys like Miralas, and then on the right mid, guys like Robben and stuff like that. So you want to have guys that can cut inside and finish as well. And you also want to make their instructions similar to how it is in 4-1-2-1-2. You want to make them to cut inside and get in behind for the right mids and the left mids. And then your biggest coin should be spent on these three guys right here, the cams and the striker. You want to make the cams, you want to make sure that they have high pace and at least 4-star skill moves. That's all you need. You need high pace and at least 4-star skill moves, and it'll work wonders for you. And it's also good to have good shooting, obviously, because you want them to finish their chances. But that's probably the most important thing. You need high pace, like 85 plus, and 4-star skill moves. And then your striker, he needs to be a powerhouse, a guy like Ibrahimovic. You need 4-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot, high physical, and decent pace. So a guy that would be perfect for that is a guy like Ibrahimovic. And for this formation, it's a very tiki-taka, one-touch football formation. So if you like one-touch passing and passing the ball around and keeping possession, this is a perfect formation for you, and I highly recommend it. It helped me a lot in my games. And let's move on, guys, to the top 2 formations that I think are in this year's installment of FIFA. We're going to start with number 2, and it's none other than the 4-2-3-1, the second variant. So this formation, when I first tried it out, I was concerned because my attacking was not up to the highest prowess that it could be. But man, once you start using it, you're gonna get, when you get used to it and you know how to utilize your players and where your players will be, you will be astounded with how great this formation is. So to begin with, if you're struggling defensively in this game, I'd highly recommend this. If you're a guy that likes possession, I highly recommend this. Or even if you're a guy that loves counter-attacking, I highly recommend this. This formation is very useful because you can play the 3 different play styles and the ones that I just mentioned to you. And for this formation, you want to make sure that your striker and your cam are your highest paid players. You want to make sure your best players are these 2 guys right here. And your second tier best players are the center backs. The center backs, the striker, and the cam are the most prominent players that I found in this formation. And if you don't have good center backs or a good cam or striker, then you're screwed, and this formation is going to be absolutely terrible for you. So let's begin with your cam needs to have 4-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot, and he needs to be an all-around player. Guys that I can think of off the bat: Ben Arfa, Kevin De Bruyne, Julian Draxler, Sebastian Giovinco. So you need someone that's good in this game, that has decent pace, decent shooting. He can do everything for you, and he has to have good passing too, you know. And if he has good physical, that's just the cherry on top. If he has good physical, the opponent's gonna have a very tough time defending against you, and that's highly recommended for me. If you have like a guy like, not a box-to-box midfielder, but a guy like Paul Pogba, who has high physical, but he can also play and finish and stuff like that, then you're laughing, because you're gonna be golden in this game. And your striker needs to have high pace. He needs to have 4-star skill moves at least, because it's gonna be very hard for you to score when you're the lone striker up top and you have defenders around you and you can't do 4-star skill moves. It's very hard to score. So you either need like really high pace like Aubameyang with 96, or you need like a decent pace but at least 4-star skill moves. And these are the most prominent players for you guys. You gotta spend your coins wisely on these guys. And your center backs, they need to be very good. I'm talking about guys like Koscielny, Boateng, Hummels, Socrates. You need very good center backs, man. If you don't, you're screwed in this game. And your CDMs need to be all-around midfielders. I'm talking about guys like, again, Vidal, Asamoah, guys like that. They need to be your central defensive midfielders. And you want to make sure that at least one of them has the instruction to stay back while attacking. It's recommended to put both of them, but you need to have at least one of them to stay back while attacking. And your left mids and right mids need to be also pretty good stars in this game. You need guys like Royce, Robben, Hazard, those kind of guys. You need all those guys that can play and have high pace. They have 4-star skill moves and they can finish and they have pretty good shooting. Kingsley Coman works good here too. Guys like Schürrle. So you wanna be very critical about who you put in these positions. And once again, you need to have them to cut inside and get in behind. And once you do that, your attack will be very, very overpowered in my opinion. And you can work this to counterattack for you by making the 2 center defensive midfielders staying back while attacking, and making your cam stay forward as the instructions, and making your striker get in behind as the instruction. If you do that, then that'll be a good counterattacking formation for you. If you want this to be a well-balanced passing formation, then leave all the instructions as they are, but make your left mids and right mids cut inside and get in behind, and make one CDM stay back while attacking. So that's it, guys. This formation is very OP. It has good possession numbers every time I play with it. Yes, it's hard to build up play, and it's very fun because you build up play, but it's very hard to find scoring chances when you need a goal. So you're gonna want to hold on to the ball, be very patient. You need good patience for this formation. You need to be decent at skilling, and have a knack for building up play. Pretty much, you need patience is the biggest thing that I can say for you guys. So that's number 2, and at number 1, we're gonna go with none other than the 4-3-2-1. And man, this formation this year, just like it was last year, is absolutely mental. This formation is so OP. So there's lots of ways to use this formation as your main goal and to your advantage. And I'd say the most recommended one is one that's pace whoring. So if you have your left forward and striker and your right forward with high pace, not even your striker, man, just your left forward and your right forward. If you have a guy like Bale and Neymar, you're golden and you're not gonna lose the game. Like once they get through, bro, it's over. It's over. Like, ladies and gentlemen, it's over. And your striker has to be a well-rounded striker that can finish. Guys like Lewandowski, Suarez, Ibrahimovic, you name it, those kind of guys. But yeah, if you want to use a counter-attacking formation for this one, you gotta have pacey wingers and a finishing striker. And your central midfielders need to be box-to-box midfielders, guys like Renato Sanchez, Arturo Vidal, Asamoah, Barolo, those kind of guys, Marquisio. They need to be your central midfielders in this part for this formation especially. And all your midfielders need to be box-to-box, man, unfortunately, or else it's not going to work as well. And they need to be able to finish. If they can't finish, then it's very waste, because most of them try to get up in the attack, like I said. And I have Renato Sanchez and Vidal in my squad, and when they get up in the attack, they can finish with long shots, with power shots, they can finish in the box, so I'm not even concerned, and they work beautifully. But all your attackers need to have at least 85 pace for this to work, and for this to be as overpowered as it actually is in this game. And yeah, once you do that, bro, it's counter-attack OP as hell. And you can even play tiki-taka and formation, possession number game, but it's a little bit tougher with this formation, and I recommend the second best formation for this. But for this one, if you're a counter-attacking kind of guy, and you want to score goals through possession and building up play, and you have high-skilled wingers and high-rated wingers, you're golden. You're gonna win every single game, and you're gonna be laughing. You're gonna be good, man. And as for instructions, I'd recommend to keep it all the same. And if you're struggling defensively, maybe you want to keep 1 or 2 of you guys to stay back while you're attacking on the midfield. But other than that, don't touch the instructions. You'll be golden. You'll be fine. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button. Let me know in the comments below if you're going to try any of these formations, and if you do, if you think I'm right or if you think I'm wrong. Let me know any formations I missed that I haven't tried yet, that I'm missing out on, in the comments below. But if you're a new subscriber around here, I bring you daily content on FIFA, NHL, and 2K.